Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Toby's Talk Show, and today we will be predicting the eastern side of the play-in tournament. And yeah, that's all we're really going to be doing today. It's not going to be that long of a video, but we will be talking about both eastern play-in games tonight. They're doing it East tonight, West tomorrow, and then the final East game for the eighth seed and final West game for the eighth seed the days after. But today we will just be talking about the Eastern Conference, and then I'll probably make a video tomorrow talking about the Western Conference prediction. I'm going to do the whole Eastern Conference today just because it's easier, and then I'll probably just do a reaction video to the whole plane a few days later. So yeah, let's get right into it. So as you guys know, the matchups are the 7th-seeded Celtics at home against the 8th-seeded Wizards tonight. And as well, we have the 9th-seeded Charlotte Hornets, or sorry, the 9th-seeded Pacers against the 10th-seeded Charlotte Hornets. So let's talk about the first game first. Let's talk about the game that's first on, which is going to be the Hornets and Pacers game. So, I think home court advantage will matter. It is a big thing in the NBA. Obviously, not all the time. Obviously, there are upsets, and there are teams that don't have home court advantage and winning in Game 7, like, the 2016 Cavs on the biggest stage of them all. But, home court advantage is important, so I will factor in a little bit, but, not too much because at the end of the day, COVID, not that many fans, not that much more noise. So, yeah. Pacers, Hornets. There was news today by Shams that was reported that LeVert won't play tonight, which sucks because Miles Turner is also out, and so the Pacers are missing 2 of their top 4 players. The Hornets, they're relatively healthy. I think they're all good to go besides Gordon Hayward, and Gordon Hayward's been out for a long, long time. I know Stephen A. was rambling today talking about, I heard he could play. Why is he not? I'm sure he can't play, and it's just hurt. But it sucks that, he can't stay on the court. I'm sure he'd love to play. And yeah, I mean, Hornets, Pacers, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I think just overall, I think if Domantas Sabonis has a great game, I could see the Pacers winning. I think the Pacers have a good team. They still have Brogdon and Sabonis. It sucks because the last 2 years, they've just been really, really hurt by injuries. I don't even believe TJ Warren is healthy. So for that reason, I will go with the Hornets. I just think that the Pacers, they've had a really rough year, COVID and health and safety protocols and injury-wise. And I just think at the end of the day, I think the Hornets have more depth. Obviously, at this moment, if the Pacers were fully healthy, I think the Pacers would probably beat down on the Hornets, to be honest. But just because of the massive injury, first of all, to Miles Turner, and now Caris LeVert, you're missing your rim protector, and now you're missing, a big offensive threat for you guys. I just think the Hornets, even though they won't have Gordon Hayward, they have LaMelo, PJ, Miles Bridges, Monk, list goes on and on. And I just think the Hornets are going to pull it out. Probably led by LaMelo. I feel like LaMelo loves the spotlight, and so I feel like he'll go crazy tonight. And then, the Celtics-Wizards game, which is on later tonight, how I look at it is I love Jason Tatum. I think he's probably the best player in that game, and I think it's very debatable. You really can't go wrong between Tatum, Westbrook, and Beal, and for that reason, I'm going to pick the Wizards because, if they're all on the same tier, and you have 2 guys on the same tier compared to the 1 guy, I'm going to take the team with 2 of those guys. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is hurt, which sucks. And I think something else you have to realize is, even though besides Brown, the Celtics are relatively healthy, these guys really have very little chemistry together. The whole team really, just throughout the year, has been struck by injuries and COVID as well, just like a lot of teams in the league, but especially them. And, they really just, the whole team hasn't been on the court together once. And I just think chemistry-wise, at the end of the day, the Wizards, they're hot. The Celtics, they're not. The Wizards have 2 All-Stars. The Celtics have 1. And I think at the end of the day, Westbrook and Beal will be able to carry the Wizards to the 7th seed, which would lead us to a Brooklyn Wizards, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook playoff series, which would be phenomenal. And I would be very, very excited. So I am also rooting for the Wizards, to be honest, just because I want that series to happen. So that means the Wizards move to 7. The Pacers are eliminated if this were all to happen, and we would have a battle for the 8th seed, Celtics versus Hornets. And I believe that means I guess that means that also the Celtics would have 2 home games because of that. And yeah, I think the Celtics would win and clinch the 8th seed. The reason is, the Hornets, they're very, very good, but at the end of the day, a lot of their players are younger and have very little, playoff or, big game experience, and the Celtics, They've been there 4 out of the 5. I think they've been in the Eastern Conference 4 of the last 5 years, at least 3. And they just have the experience, and they also have an actual All-Star. LaMelo will be an All-Star, but right now, I love LaMelo and he's great, but 15, 5, and 5, A, just isn't All-Star numbers, but B, even though he is pretty much doing it nightly, just what Jason Tatum does, it's over the top. It's a lot, Tatum here, the ball here, and I think overall, even though the Celtics are missing Brown, I think the Celtics are just more talented overall than the Hornets, which will lead to a Celtic win. I think, also I don't have a problem with James Borrego for the Hornets coach, but I think Brad Stevens will be able to outcoach the Hornets tonight, or I guess in 2 days if that were to happen. And yeah, that's really it. So I do have the Wizards and Celtics making it. Wizards 7, Celtics 8, which would leave a Sixers-Celtics rematch again, and a Wizards-Nets play, and that means both the Hornets and the Pacers are going to the lottery. I could see the Pacers win tonight, but I don't think it could happen. But either way, I think the Wizards and Celtics will be the 2 teams that will make the playoffs. So that's really it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your predictions down below for tonight's games, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.